Hello everyone, welcome back to the Love in Doha show. This is Dima, and since last week, so many things have happened, and we're gonna dive into it from to sporty events, to marathons, to Macklemore and Cybertrucks. We are going to talk all about it, so stay tuned, grab your coffee or tea, and let's go. Alright, starting off with some really great news, especially for GCC residents. If you've been planning on going for Umrah or to Mecca or to Al Medina, this is your chance because now you can plan your trip easily using a tourist visa or a transit visa. And this news was rolled out recently by the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah that you can also plan your trip in advance using the Nusuk app if you're going to Al Medina. And this particular news is very amazing because going to Umrah can become much more frequent and much easier than before. I, for one, have been planning on going for Umrah, and perhaps this is a sign. Now, music lovers and football lovers are going to align for this one because Macklemore is going to be singing at Match for Hope. He is going to perform a halftime show at Stadium 974. Some would say that Valentine's Day just got cooler. It's going to be exciting to see Macklemore, the rapper and Grammy winner, perform here in Qatar. And a lot of us are hoping that he would perform his classics and the singles he came out with recently in support of Palestine. So what would you say you're most excited for? Are you more excited for the game or are you more excited for Macklemore? On the same note, there has been someone who made their touchdown in Qatar recently, and Sporty fans, this one's for you. The one and only, the world's #1 in women's tennis, Arina Sabalenka, landed recently in Qatar for the Qatar Total Energies Open WTA. If you are a tennis fan, you probably already know that this tournament is a big deal. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how the competition fares. Now, Sabalenka has been unstoppable. There are plenty of incredible players competing, so it's going to be a battle for that top spot. What do you think about the impact of having such high-level competitions in the region? It's great for inspiring the next generation of players, right? And I've seen people starting to talk about how tennis is gaining traction here. Maybe one day we'll see even more local talent rising through the ranks. If you're in Doha right now, will you be attending? Or do you prefer watching from the comfort of home? More sporty events are coming up, by the way, because Sports Day is coming up. Speaking of all things sports, you know that the Sports Day is coming up soon. Many different activities and tournaments and competitions, from a night run at Lusail Boulevard to a triathlon at Education City and a half marathon. Yep, there will be a half marathon at Lusail Boulevard, and it will also be part of the Sports Day celebrations. The official race schedule, it will start with a half marathon. The marathon is set to take place at Lusail Boulevard as part of Qatar National Sports Day celebrations. And the schedule includes 10-kilometer race, 5-kilometer race, 1-kilometer fun run. And these are all starting at 6 a.m. in the morning. This is great for early risers who love to go for a run. It's all about fitness and community activities across the country. And this is what Sports Day is all about. This is big news about the marathon, especially for anyone who loves to take on challenges. It's not just a race, it's a celebration of health, fitness, and community. And to have it set in Lusail with all the modern architecture, wide streets, and green spaces, it's going to be an event to remember. Plus, with Qatar's growing reputation as a host for world-class sporting events such as the FIFA World Cup, the FIFA Arab Cup, and many more, this half marathon could turn into a global spectacle. So, have you ever thought about running a marathon or a half marathon? I personally haven't. I'm more of a walking person, but I'll always admire the people who go on marathons and triathlons and go for runs. Maybe you're already planning your training for 2025, or maybe you'll just cheer on the runners. Either way, it's something to look forward to in the coming years. Are you ready for the action? And what's your favorite sports day activity? And lastly, something a little out of the ordinary. How about this? There have been some awestruck reactions online about the Cybertruck police cars in Qatar. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The iconic futuristic Cybertruck has been spotted being used by police here. A bold move, right? It's definitely turning heads, and Instagrammers, wise guys, spotted one recently, sharing with their followers the sight of a Dakhouya Cybertruck police car. People were amazed to see it, while also being protective and asking them to say mashallah. On one hand, the symbol of innovation, showing that Qatar is always ahead of the curve when it comes to technology and development. And on the other hand, some people are finding it a bit to out there. It's not your typical police car, that's for sure. Do you think this is a cool and forward-thinking move? Or are you more of a traditionalist when it comes to police vehicles? It's certainly a sight to get used to. It's something that makes you stop and think. Are we heading into an era of high-tech law enforcement? And that's a wrap up for today's episode. We've covered everything from the GCC visa changes to high-tech police cars with some epic sports events in between. Do you have any thoughts or reactions to any of the stories? Let us know. We would love to hear from you. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, keep enjoying everything Qatar has to offer, and don't forget to stay active and stay curious. See you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into the Love in Doha podcast as part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts from.